Hello and welcome to another episode of the Essex League Cricket Hour with myself, Billy Rowan, Alfie Taylor. And this week we've done an England, we've done a Moeen Ali, and we're resting Phil. And we brought in the big man, Nick Browne. Nick, how are we?
Good boys, how we doing?
All good, mate, all good. Alf?
It's great to have you here, Johnny. Yeah, the last one was such a treat. Feels like Christmas again, doesn't it? Yeah, nothing's been happening, Bill. Just another day, 10,000 steps. That's what I'm trying to average at the moment.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah, cheers. And that's it, really. Nothing exciting. Watched a bit of cricket today.
I should just say that Phil is moving house and he's got some stuff going on with work, so he's taking a little break from it. So we've got a ready-made replacement in Nick today.
Well, we furloughed him
before people. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, he has gone into hiding actually, because I think that Omani player has wanted his shirt back because he didn't give him permission to take the shirt. So he's after him. He's flown in and Phil's had to go into hiding. Rahman.
Right, boys.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, boys. I enjoyed it last time, so it's good fun.
It's an absolute pleasure, Brownie, always. Well, we might as well start with you because you're the only one who's allowed to do anything in this call. Netting, you must be back. You're back hitting balls. What's going on?
Yeah, we went back 2 weeks ago. Only a couple of times a week. One-to-ones at the moment through COVID times, and yeah, it's been good. First net went all right.
What happened?
I've got
any bruises?
I've got Anthony McGrath as my one-to-one coach at the moment.
Better than Glenn.
Yeah. And he's a brilliant coach, and he's sort of come up with a few things for me to change and to be a bit more productive against spin. So he's gone, right, straight away, let's go, no pads. You're in against Merlin, spinning foot and a half. And,
is Merlin still as big as when it was when England had it in 2005? It was like a fucking tank.
You know, like
it was like a metro, car.
Yeah, they are still pretty big.
Are they?
Yeah. So sort of 5 months without hitting a ball, Mags has gone, no pads on. You're facing the ball spinning foot and a half. It's fair to say my front leg got blown off.
Bit like that. To be fair.
I was hobbling around everywhere. I think I got hit about 10 times on the shin.
Bill,
it wasn't good.
You'll remember this, Bill. You know, like when a cricket club's, they go through that sort of period where you've got a bowling machine and like, it's the big thing, isn't it? $2,500 spent at the club. Like there's 8,000 fundraisers to get that money. And then 2 years later, the balls are like fucking marbles.
Listen, apparently
you get the odd one fired in there and it absolutely like tears you apart and it just ruins your confidence.
Listen, I remember when Chingford's got their first bowling machine and we're talking what? I mean, I don't think you were born out. Or you would have been very young. I reckon it was probably... Yeah. It was like a catapult. So basically, yeah, we got... What do you reckon now? 15 years ago, they got their bowling machine?
Yeah, I think I was one of the first to use it. Brilliant.
Are they still using the same set of balls?
They're using I tell you what, right? The last time I went on a bowling machine was probably about 3 years ago, and my inside thigh after 10 balls, that was it. I just had to. I grabbed the floor and the net and just dragged myself out. Awful.
Well, listen, I the last time I would have used it would have been pushing 10 years ago, right? And there were balls that we took out the batch. We said, no, we're not using them balls no more because one ball in particular, it'd be a booming in swinger, then it'd swing away, then it'd nip off the seam away from you, then it'd nip back in, all in one ball.
Yeah, but you always...
We'd have to...
you always slide those balls...
We had to take it out of the batch, mate.
You know when there's someone who's got your spot or he's got his eye on your spot, you slide those ones in, don't you? And then... we
always left it to the last ball when it was always 4 off the last ball.
Yeah,
you ain't in this ball for 4, mate.
Yeah, Brownie, Essex skin, or can they afford a reload on balls?
Yeah, they're not too bad. Like at South Woodford, they're like that. The balls are all gone. They normally get hit in the bushes because it's an outdoor net, not like you fancy like the Chingford.
Well, you can rent them.
Nothing fancy about our nets, mate.
But I remember us getting that first bowling machine down at the club. And there's about 8,000 people turned up to training. I want to use this machine. And then 2 years later, it never comes out the shed again, does it?
That's the same for the outdoor nets, isn't it? It always takes like you got to have 6 people proper pumped to get that thing out onto the pitch, and after 2 weeks
to get it out,
no one can be asked for an unprepared.
Oh yeah, putting it up and down again.
And all that happens is someone just comes and mows you. Yeah, that's it. There's no fielders out there. You've got to run after the ball, and there's no one left to bat. It's it's club cricket in a nutshell, that, isn't it, Bill?
I'm not missing pre-season now, I'll tell you.
Nah. Well, show us your pad, actually. You've got a little prop there, Bill.
I have, mate. Yeah, I'm down to my last 2 props, actually. So I used the hat last week, and I've got a pair of pads. But yeah, this is the sweeping pad, as you can see. And with Brownie as well. Did Grey Nichols do this for you? Look, I've got a custom strap because my legs are so chunky. My calf is. Some say I've got implants, calf implants.
You've got lovely calf. It
wouldn't fit around my leg. So and bit of mould in there as well.
Nice.
Make it all authentic, and it stinks as well.
Stinks of runs.
I don't know about that, Brownie.
Failure.
Brownie, the LBW, mate.
You must have a prop, didn't you, Brownie? We asked you to knock one up.
Well, I've just got this out the cupboard, but it's I was given it T20 Finals Day 2017, and it's the Essex flag, which
that's it. There it is.
Which I walked around in a cape in it all night, and then carried it down to Taunton, and then had it there. So one lovely fan gave it to me, and he's not seen it back. So
I bet that cake can tell some stories, Brownie.
It probably don't smell. Smells a bit of booze and champagne.
Success.
Smells of success.
Do you have it draped over the bed? You know, like how you dress a bed up with a few cushions and that, and then you have I don't know what you call it, that bit on the end of the bed. Do you have that cascading on the edge of your bed?
Like the throw at the end.
That's
no.
it, yeah.
I don't think she'll be too happy with that.
I think it's a brilliant prop. You should wear it out more often.
Mate, yeah. Alf, what you got, mate?
Oh yeah, thanks for asking, Bill. I don't know whether you can see this. Where can I put it up? You see that? Can you read that?
There is. There is.
I'll talk you through it.
How'd you get hold of the World Cup final trophy? How'd you get hold of that?
Well, because you asked, Best Performance Award 2017, A. Taylor, 194 not out against Colchester. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, fucking hell. Next week, I'm going to go down the cricket club, right? I'm going to rip off the club honours ball, and I'm going to put behind me Young Clubman of the Year, 1998.
Well, they give it to 25-year-olds, do they?
Yeah. 35.
Well, Brownie, actually, we need a little bit of an update. What about the kit, the new kit? Any news on that for Essex?
Yeah, we haven't got our Essex kit through as yet. I think when we all go back together, 1st of March, we'll probably have our kit come through then. My Grey Nichols kit, Grey Nichols kit's in the post by all accounts. So,
is it?
Yeah, I have to wait for that this year. Can't go to the factory, which is a bit of a shame.
Now, do you get offered like what you choose? Because with me, Alfie, and Phil, we were watching Dom Sibley. I don't know if you remember this because you're younger than me and Phil, but Sibley is rocking a proper retro Grey Nichols Ultimate that Nasser Hussain used to use. Yeah, have you been offered any sort of retro Grey Nichols kit?
Do you know what, bro? I'd love to get some retro stuff. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Do
you get told what like brand you're having?
So they ask you what
range.
Yeah, they ask you what you want, what range you want, but then they kind of want everyone to sort of have across the spectrum. So they don't just want everyone using power bow or whatever.
Yeah.
Brownie.
So I said to them this year, just whatever ones you guys want.
Typical Brownie days. I don't care about the stickers, whatever.
Selfless human.
I think I'm in power bow this year.
Oh, nice.
Ironic.
Yeah,
for the nerdler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, actually, Brownie. Do they tend to give like your Glenn Maxwell's, for example, is obviously going to get, this is a different brand, but he's going to get a Beast and like Warner get a Kaboom. if you had a kaboom, it wouldn't really make sense. So if you turn around and said, I want a David Warner kaboom, they say, I don't think that's you, Brownie.
It would be funny, wouldn't it?
I want the 2 to 3rd man. Surely they can bring that one off the rack.
Yeah. The inside edge. The inside edge.
Yeah. Or the first slip. Nick off the first slip.
I definitely had a bat when I first got in the Essex side that had like Alistair Cook on it. And like, they put like the little signature in the like above the below the maker's name. I was like, it's a bit embarrassing. I'm walking out to bat with him. He's got his name on my bat.
That's when you know you made it, isn't it, Brownie?
Yeah.
One day there's going to be an 18-year-old walking out to bat with your name
with the inside edge.
The inside edge. Boys, I actually I don't know whether you saw this, but I thought I'd slip this one in before we get on to the India-England series. I saw a bit of the Windies One Day Cup. It's on some moody channel, some Eurosport.
BT Sport.
That's it. And I think we've all seen this at some stage in our career, but generally not in real life. Is one of the blokes was batting in bins, but no hat, no lid, just sunglasses.
Just sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Firstly, what do we think about that?
Well, listen, sorry to cut in, Brownie, but I've spent this whole lockdown getting bored shitless and pissed off all these shit 2020, T10, Abu Dhabi, Smash, all these crap tournaments all across the world, that these players are making fortunes out of. I've had enough of them. I've absolutely, like the Pakistan one, there's players in there. No, I'm just saying, I've had enough. You brought up the West Indies T20, mate. I've had enough of it, mate. I think it's fucking shit. I think all the players involved, right, I reckon 10 years ago I could have had a gig in the Dubai T10 without a shadow of a doubt. Definitely in the Pakistan Premier League, mate, all day long. It is fucking awful. And it says it all when some geezer's batting in Ray-Bans as well, which I have done, which I have actually done, actually.
Do you know what?
Sorry to go off on a rant, but I've just had enough of T20. Like, I just think the standards, even in the IPL, the standard is fucking. Well, it's not atrocious, but it's not as great as they'll make out.
No, I think
some of the players. It says it all that in the. I know we'll go on to the IPL auction. But it says it all when Chris Morris, who can't get in the South African T20 team, gets bought for fucking £2 billion or whatever it was. Like Jai Richardson, like. I know he potentially could be a good player. Riley Meredith, like Shimron Hetmeyer. Like, that geezer averaged about 15 last year's IPL. How's he got another deal?
Because he wears a gold fucking cricket bat around his neck.
Well, I was going to say, that gold cricket bat's got more runs than his fucking bat in his bag, mate. He should try batting with him, mate. I've had enough. Brownie, what are you thinking about T? I know you're not a T20 connoisseur, but what's your view on T20? Because I fucking had enough of it.
No, I've watched bits and pieces of, like you say, them tournaments, PSL and that. Like the fielding for me is just shocking, isn't it?
Oh,
like,
oh my God,
you see some some of the catches dropped to like a bit embarrassing.
You see Moin Khan's son? Remember the old Pakistan wicketkeeper?
He does belt it though, to be fair.
Fuck it, he should do it. That amount of weight behind him. Fucking hell. Fuck.
I haven't actually seen him. Is he a big lump?
Mate, yeah, he's a fat bastard, mate. Let's have it right. Like,
he's not an athlete now.
He's a keeper as well.
Does he keep? Yeah.
Was he
reminds me of someone else actually on this podcast.
Is he?
I don't bash it though.
Just in the bedroom.
He belts him.
Listen.
Is he signed for Northants yet?
Mate, even he would be a bit. I don't think even he would be pushing the old bigger shirt side of Northants, mate.
We will get on to the 2020 stuff, but what do we? I've seen a few things in my time, but what's the weirdest thing you've ever? It could be an item of clothing, it could be the way that a person acts, but what's the weirdest thing you've seen come onto a cricket field? it could be for your team or against. Shall I start us off? Because I remember one person, one West Indian, which is always a good place to start here. And Bill, you'll remember him, and maybe Brownie, you might have played against him. And his name's McPherson Meat, right? And he's he's the only geezer I know that can pull off the whole the bottom strap undone thing. And he used to get run out a lot where his pads was used to turn around and he'd fall over or something. But
he had the middle strap undone as well, I think.
I think he had everything undone. He went out the bat, right? And he had the do-rag, he had the jumper if it was 40 degrees. He didn't care what kit he wore. But he went out to bat in a league game. No, it was a Sunday league game with a Walkman. And he batted with a Walkman and
hands free.
And at the end of the over, he was changing it. And because you could only have 6 songs or whatever playing on it, he batted, he got like 60, 70 odd. He had to flip the thing over a couple of times. So
yeah, the iPod Mini. Was it an actual cassette?
It was a tape cassette. It was in his pocket. It was massive. So like he's trying to run between the wickets with his pads all over the gaff. He's got a Walkman in there. Like, the lead for starters, AirPods would be all right at the moment. You could get the wireless thing going. But what do we think about that? Yeah.
Well, he was quite a rare bloke actually, because he was the first one of the first players.
Sounds
one of the first players he was the innovator. He was one of the pioneers of getting trainers spiked, because what he did, he got his Stanley knife out, got a pair of his old normal cricket spikes, Stanley the sole off of them, and literally gorilla glued the sole onto a pair of running trainers and played with him.
Funny enough, actually, he played in the Stanford 2020 when they had the black bats and and they won the diamond ring. If they, he's in jail now. Alan Stanford.
Is he? Is he not dead?
One or the other.
No, he's in jail, isn't he? Yeah.
Or is he with Matt Pryor's missus? He's putting it on her, wasn't he? And England played that game. It's a £1 million game or something, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Brownie, have you ever seen anything rare come onto the pitch like that?
Well, probably not weirdest, but Saj Mahmood in one of his first games for Essex went out to bat with his phone in his front pocket. And it was only when like bowlers come into bowl, he gets a text, the old ding goes off.
Oh, what was that? Like, that's an expensive iPad, that is.
Everyone looked around going, where's that come from? No, Saj didn't know where it was coming from, because obviously he couldn't feel it in his pocket through the fire.
I'll tell you what, you probably weren't the first to do that at Essex. I reckon Danish Canaria had one in there as well, but but we'll gloss over that one. Bill, can you think of anything?
Well, I certainly can't beat McPherson Meath. I can't off the top of my head, to be honest. Well, I don't know if we spoke about it on this podcast before, but I have fielded in a Rey Mysterio Nacho Libre wrestling mask for the first 10 overs.
Hung over wasn't it?
And I was captain as well.
Oh, nice.
Put in the strings at first slip with the Nacho Libre Rey Mysterio mask on. But no, mate, I can't. I don't think we can beat the Walkman and the DIY spikes as well.
It takes
not in proper cricket. Wearing having music on, brilliant. We used to do at South Woodford. We used to do a fancy dress 2020. That was good fun.
The old was it the Borat costume?
The old mankini.
That's it. Bollocks all over.
Would you dress up as Brownie?
I had a few different ones. I went as one of the Smurfs, so completely all blued.
Yeah.
Like the mankini. One of the lads went as that.
Already runs as the Smurf.
Mr. Potato Man.
Just got any runs as a potato or a Smurf? Or you blind?
To be honest, Alf, I think I'd drunk enough that day.
Sitting there like a garden gnome other than
I don't think I had a hit, to be honest.
Talking about blue and Smurfs and all that, this is totally going off subject. We had a little night out. Alf, I don't know if you were there, mate. A few years ago, we went out a night out in Bath, and me and the boys, we used to do the old torpedoes with the blue WKD. And so we were at the bar, like sculling a few WKDs. And then we got challenged by a load of like the locals. They were challenging us. I was pretty good at it at the time. And I'd sort of won 3-4 in a row. Before I knew it, I was getting challenged by the whole pub, right? And I'd done probably, no joke, 15 of these WKDs. Like, so I was buzzing because of the sugar. You know, I woke up next morning, did me usual morning ritual in the toilet, a little dump. No joke. It came out navy blue. No joke. It was navy. It was the same colour as England's World Cup winning shirts, mate.
Fuck's sake. Right. On that note, England-India, day one today. Firstly, let's go with the stadium, 132,000 capacity. What's the biggest audience we've played in front of, Bill?
Well, firstly, it was 110,000. Have they just put another 22,000 on through the night?
I think they must have realised that somewhere like the MCG's 110,000, and they got up it from there to be the biggest in the world, didn't they? There's just a few.
Like West Ham, Tottenham, innit? Like Tottenham, West Ham had the biggest stadium in London. Then Tottenham built their stadium, but West Ham still had capacity behind the big screen to put another 5,000 seats in, just so they could be the biggest stadium in London.
It's an impressive stadium, though, isn't it, boys? It's a big old venue.
Unbelievable stadium. How big is it? It's a bit it's a bit different.
132,000, Brownie.
It's a bit different to the MCG, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the MCG's a lot higher, I think. That one looks a lot more spread.
I'll take Lords any day of the week, mate. I think these massive bowls don't have any atmosphere. I mean, I've never played a Boxing Day test, so I can't sort of clarify that. But to me, they're just soulless, really. Like, they haven't got that balcony like Lords. Like, the changing rooms, they are like underground, and it's just like, obviously when they're full, they can look impressive, especially under the lights. But for me, Lords, I wouldn't even say Adelaide anymore because they're like stadiums, but some of the grounds in New Zealand, Hadley Oval, that's proper cricket grounds, for me anyway.
Yeah, Lords has got to be the best, but imagine walking out to the bat, 110,000 Indians shouting and screaming. That would be mad, wouldn't it?
Have you seen how long the tunnel is to walk into the ground?
Yeah.
It's massive, mate. You know, like the ball ring's got that little tunnel.
Yeah.
No joke. The one at where is it again? Ahmedabad. It is 5 times as long as that.
You'd be out of breath, Bill.
I would, mate. Yeah, the innings would be over, mate. By the time I got back,
You have to wheel you out there. But you're right, though. I think
it'd be like the Travelator on Gladiators. I don't know. I keep forgetting that you boys are young. I don't know if you boys remember the Travelator.
No, I remember it.
I remember Travelator.
Oh. Shadows, Roid Rage. The pugil sticks.
But you're right. You can't beat like even Chelmsford. There's nothing better than being sprayed. Like, as long as it's constructive criticism, like from 3 or 4 meters, or not even that, like you can literally whisper in the geezer's ear. Whereas if you're miles away and it's really loud, like there's no atmosphere. I much prefer a really tight ground where there's only 10,000 people absolutely abusing you. What do you reckon, Brownie? You've been there, done it.
Brownie, biggest crowd. Have you been heckled?
Well, I've not played loads of T20 where the crowds come. So I've played at Lords, Trent Bridge, and the Oval in T20s, and they're unbelievable. Like the Oval's on a Friday night is what a place to play. Like it's unbelievable. Like you field on the boundary, you get abused, but it's great fun. Brilliant place.
Do you not find the abuse though, because you don't really get Friday night T20 at the Oval? Probably out of the 25,000 fans there, you probably got maybe half of them that are cricket fans. The rest of them are just there to get pissed. So they're just shouting, like stuff not even cricket related.
Sorry, mate. Because there's so many people there, it's more like a buzz of noise rather than like
Yeah.
you know, a constant barrage. Like at Chelmsford, you'll get a constant barrage of people from that far side all pissed up. But at the Oval, it's a bit more of like a buzz, and same as Lords, bit more of like a general noise.
Yeah.
Which is
the
so
Lord's hum.
It is so loud. Like you're on the boundary, you can't hear the like captain shouting your name, and if you've got an aggressive captain like we've had in the past, like a Tendo or Foster, and you've not heard him, you're going to get a spray.
He's got his eye on the old beer snake.
Go that way, that way. Yeah.
Brownie's got his eyes on the Harris Garden at Lords. Pink champagne.
Brownie, what's the funniest thing that's ever been the funniest heckle you've received or heard? You must have heard a few that sound out. Don't have to be at T20.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of many, Alf. They kind of come. You get abused and you have a laugh, and like you kind of forget about it, don't you? I suppose.
There are times when uncomfortable.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes I remember playing a game against Middlesex, or 12th man in a game against Middlesex a couple of years ago. They had a young lad, George Scott, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And he drops a catch, Skyer, drops the second one in the same over. He dropped 4 catches in the whole match. And like, you're just sitting there by the fourth, like even being an Essex player, you're like, come on, mate, you've got to catch this. Because the Essex fans were all over him. Like, ball went up. Whoa! It wasn't just like a few. The whole crowd got like stuck into this young kid. And I felt so sorry for him.
Surely you boys get involved on the balcony as well. You got to chime in, haven't you? I don't know, Bill. I was always one for that. If someone's dropping catches,
yeah, mate.
I'm probably not the best one to go to. But.
No, 100%, mate. You do it in like, when it's to your own teammates.
Yeah, but if you can't give it to your own teammates, what's the point?
Exactly.
Right. Let's get on to Moen actually, because team selection, and I suppose he's probably the best place to start. I suppose there's been mixed opinions and mixed views on this type of thing happening over the last year or so. What do we think about Mo going home and then obviously picking up the 700,000 quid in the IPL? It's a no-brainer for me, but you might have a different opinion.
Yeah, I think it's tough, isn't it? Like, it's a tough one. You like, I read something the other day and I thought it was quite good. Like, golfers pick their majors throughout the year, what competitions you're going to play. Right, and obviously this year is a bit different with England and that. They're playing a lot of cricket. I don't think you can take away 750 grand from a player. For me, I don't think you can, because it's life-changing money.
No, I agree. But
for me,
go on now, Nick.
Like, golfers pick their majors, pick the weeks that they're around for. Right, I'm going to be at the US Open. I'm going to be at the Ryder Cup, and then work around it. Right. England, for me, is number one, and a tour to India is the biggest thing. So you've got the Ashes and then a tour to India, a test tour to India. They're the two, right, they're done. I'm definitely going there. I might miss, say, the Sri Lanka series.
Yeah.
Where I might not be as needed or whatnot. So I can go to India, have a full 5 tests, then go to the IPL, come back to the English summer and I'm back fine. That's my opinion. So I get it's hard, like Ed Smith and I'm sure Chris Silverwood have gone through all the schedules and working out who can go where and whatnot. But for me, you've got to have your best team playing against the best teams. Like, how massive is this series? And that's just kind of gone.
That's a tough thing with Mo, is because he wasn't in our best team in Sri Lanka. And that's why it's a weird one, because he wasn't even playing. So he just all of a sudden became a better player because someone else was out of favour. And then he's been on the whole thing, which he probably didn't want to be on anyway. Once he got COVID and realised he weren't going to be playing, he probably wanted to go home anyway. And then played well, or well-ish. And yeah, I take the money all day after that, because he's got to think, he's got a family. He ain't got like many years like, you know what the IPL is like as well. They can drop you in a heartbeat. And when you're talking that sort of cash, like we've seen some better players go for a lot less, if nothing at all, than mine. So I think you take it when you can, if you're not going to be treated that. If you're not going to get the game, like his name's not the first on the team sheet, is it, for England? So it's such a weird one.
I won't go too far into it because I've got some pretty strong opinions on it. But I think you take this year or the last 18 or the last year or so, you look at that and it is a totally different scenario to what any England touring team has faced ever, really. Yeah. So what England have to do, they have to decide and keep it pretty concrete that players are going to be taken out of bubbles at certain times. No matter if they're saying they're all right, they've got to be taken out purely on mental health reasons, because doing what they're doing is not sustainable for every player for the next year or so. So they've got to set it in stone that this player is being rested there, and we are not, no matter, although they did ask Moeen Ali to stay, yeah, and he's been sort of thrown under the bus by saying, no, look, I'm gonna do what the plan was and go home, yeah. So they can't really be too flexible with it because of obviously isolation periods, tickets, buying plane tickets and stuff, etc. So they can't be too flexible with it. But with regards to the IPL, the cricket world needs to sort of stand back, yeah, and stop tiptoeing around it and acknowledge that players are going to want to do that, yeah. So there needs to be 1 month in the calendar year that is dedicated to IPL, where every player is available, can play. Then there's no sort of overlapping of schedules. For a start, the IPL need to meet in the middle and make the fucking tournament shorter. It's far too long in my mind. Like, teams playing 12, 13 games is too long. Like, we've all watched it and had enough of it after like 3-4 weeks. Yeah. It goes on far too long. Moeen Ali was always gonna take the IPL. He hasn't really been interested in Test cricket, well, since he got dropped, really. He pulled out of. He didn't want to go on the Sri Lanka tour when it was originally scheduled in January. But he always seems to play in the T20 stuff, the Pakistan Super League, the domestic T20, and now the IPL. And also, I think with the IPL, they seem to have a little bit of an issue with the English players because, like I was mentioning before, you've got Jason Roy, Alex Hales, Adil Rashid, yeah, that haven't been picked. Now, they are three of the best T20 players in the world, certainly better than Hetmeyer, Ben Cutting, Fabian Allen. There's all sorts of shit players in there. And this is also a measure of the standards, yeah, of the IPL, that a 58-year-old Nayan Doshi who played for Surrey, when I think Adam Hollioake was captain when he played for Surrey, he legitimately put himself in the auction. He didn't get picked up, but he actually thought he could get bought.
we were saying just off air that I think Brownie should stick his name in the hat.
Fucking why not, Brownie? Why not?
Have you seen, the only thing is with Brownie though that they have a lot of good spinners, and like that's probably why Rashid don't get picked.
Brownie bowls leg spin, mate. Leg spin. They get big bucks, mate.
Brownie would be the next. It'd be the next Sunil Narayan. We'll get him a naughty tattoo on the back of his neck, a massive gold chain, and fly him around the world.
Stick on Mohican.
Grow some hair, yeah.
You'll be
no, mate. Going back to the IPL thing, for England to come out and say as well that Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer might miss the first Test match against New Zealand, number 1 ranked Test team in the world, it's fucking not on.
Yeah,
it ain't on. Like, something, it needs to be nipped in the bud now. And like Brownie said, you can't stop a player from earning £500,000. Yeah. Although there has been occasions, Liam Livingstone last year, Jason Roy, they've pulled out of IPL tournaments to try and get into England contention or get some form going into England, like the World Cup with Jason Roy. So, it's not all as sort of black and white as it gets made out.
I think the centrally contracted guys have got to just play for England, aren't they? They're getting paid the cash.
100%, yeah.
The guys that are on the periphery are the ones that, like Moeen Ali hasn't got a central contract, so I understand him. Like the white ball contracts are a fifth of the test contract, so go and play. Like there's a T20 World Cup coming up as well. Like that, whether we like it or not, it's
the best preparation.
It is the best preparation, and it is kind of important because it's the next trophy we can win. We ain't going to win this test. Well, we're not going to win this test thing. And we also don't know what the England management have told these players to do. They may well have told Moeen Ali, Josh Buttler, Ben Stokes, Jofra Archer, go and play IPL cricket because the next T20 World Cup is in India. This is going to be the best preparation for you.
Yeah, I think
they're clearly putting T20 first, didn't they? Or white ball cricket first.
I think they would have said to him, go play IPL. Definitely. I think you've got to. These guys have to play IPL. And I think Moeen's a genius. He should play home and away. Like bats well, bowls well, genuine all rounder. Like I whenever he plays county cricket, he scores runs or takes wickets. He's the best in the country for me. But
I question Moeen Ali's temperament when they're going. Just as an England fan, purely watching him in match situations, games where England need their spinner to step up on the last day and take wickets, I question his ability to do that. I questioned it ever since he come out and said, "No, Liam Dawson is the number one spinner. I am more than happy to be that second string spinner." I just question his ability when the going gets tough. In the World Cup, we lose 3 games. He gets dropped. Like, if he's that integral to the side, why does he get dropped going into the last stretch of the World Cup? Why isn't he first choice going into Sri Lanka series? I know he had COVID, but
with players like him, though, there are guys that we've all played with them that may not necessarily be the best. Some of them are the best, but you'll take them in the trenches with you. And that, as an England fan or a cricket fan, is what you want to see. And what you're saying is he wouldn't be the first person next to you.
No, and again, me and Alf have had this discussion, Browne. If you're going to pick a spinner, you would take Moeen Ali ahead of Don Best probably 99 times out of 100 at the moment, But you've got to look at it. Moeen Ali's 33. To me, doesn't look like and feel like he's got any desire to play for England anymore. Like, do you want to invest some time in a youngster, Don Best, or do you want to keep persevering, keep giving Moeen Ali chances to play for England again? Do you want to invest the time into him? I'm not so sure, to be honest.
Speaking about investing time, boys, let's get off Moeen. Bairstow's been flown in just to have his front stall been blown off, hasn't it? I think he got naught off of, 15 balls.
Yeah, there's not much cricket to review, is there, on day one?
No, well, apart from the 13 pops.
Well, again, like with Johnny Bairstow has become this gun player ever since he's been out of the England team. He got 40 odd in Sri Lanka, and that's it. Other than that, in red ball cricket, he's not scored 100 for a long time. He hasn't shown any England form with the red ball. He got 100 a couple of years ago in Sri Lanka, batting at 3. But for me, he's a white ball cricketer now. I think, Browne, you'll be able to sort of tell us more about this, but I just think now the golf in and the techniques used in white ball cricket, staying that leg side of the ball, and that, I just think these players now are just especially someone like Bairstow who plays so much white ball cricket. I don't think it's as easy for him to come back. I don't think he's talented enough to come back and play red ball cricket for England. Don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, it's obviously such a tough switch, isn't it? From red ball to white ball, and they play so much white ball now around the world. It is tough. I get that, but I think he's talented enough. I think he's a good player. He always seems to like I've just got to go back to county cricket, but whenever he comes back to play county cricket, he always scores runs, and for me, he should be in and around that England team. I think he plays spin actually quite well. I know he's got his leg blown off today, but I quite like him against spin. He's quite aggressive, and Yeah, not easy for him, that, is it? He's gone home.
No.
He's gone home. He's gone home for 10 days. And I saw an interview with him yesterday, and he goes, "Oh, it was nice to go and rest up for a bit." And you could see he's like, "Yeah, I was only home for 10 days. I got there and then come back."
Yeah.
So
and
it was like,
and then spent a day getting from the change room to the middle of that pitch.
yeah. And the rest.
Alf, what are you thinking about? So go on, Browne. So go on, mate.
No, I was just saying, like, the rest of it, you're flying home and then you're flying back and then you're flying and quarantining for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I do actually. I really like Bear. So I think whenever you think he's not going to do it, he does it. And I like players like that. And he does want to be there. I do just.
Does he though, Alf?
Yeah. Have you seen the way he celebrates hundreds? I don't know whether that's because he wants to be there or just because he wants to prove someone wrong. But either way, I would rather
test match 100.
That's what I'm talking about. Then.
Well, again, you can't have seen it that many times, mate. I think he's only got 600s in 80 test matches.
Yeah, it's 2017. It seems like yesterday, but I think I do remember him scoring one then. I can't remember it was against South Africa or something. It might have actually been when Stokes got that 260 odd. That was the last one I remember.
Yeah, listen, I do. He's a good player. He is a good player, and white ball cricket, I do think he is up there with the best white ball cricketers in the world, 100%.
You've got
for me, playing 80 test matches for England and only scoring like 600, 700s maybe. For me, I don't think that's good enough.
Phil, you've got to remember, he's been stitched up so many times with the gloves as well, right?
Has he been stitched up? He's been given, there's not many times, he's wanted to keep wicket, yeah? And again, this all boils down to him getting what he wanted. He wanted to bat 7 for England and keep wicket. Now, if he's one of the best batsmen in the country, why is he wanting to bat 7 and keep wicket?
Yeah, I can't answer that question.
Again, it's only as a fan, purely as a fan, what I'm seeing really. And he is very talented, but his numbers don't stack up, if I'm honest. At times he, like Sri Lanka, he came in and got 100 number 3. But at times, you've seen glimpses of it. But for me, just not enough, to be honest. And I do personally think that you have to, especially for a number 3, I don't think his technique is good enough for number 3. You can argue whose technique is.
Yeah.
And he might be the best of a bad bunch at 3.
It's quite hard to tell at the moment as well. Like, they're just... The spin is just... It's relentless, isn't it?
Of course, yeah. You're in India, and it is a number 3 is not a normal number 3 position, is it?
No, exactly. But you're probably right. Like, I think Stokes would probably be the best bet at the moment to bat 3.
Oh, well, I still like Burns. I mean, England have dropped him for this game, but I think they've dropped him because they are scared of Ashwin bowling left-handers. And they've tried to pack it with right-handers as much as they can.
Which doesn't seem to make a fuss.
And so then what they've done, they've got Axar Patel, who's just blown out the top order.
Right, boys, that's way too much serious chat for this podcast. Pink ball. What are our thoughts on the old pink ball? We've all played with it at club cricket a little bit. Brownie, I don't know how much experience you've had of the pink ball. You've done some day-night cricket, haven't you?
Abu Dhabi,
yeah, played a bit. Yeah, to be fair, it's been quite nice getting up at 9 o'clock and not 4, isn't it?
How good's it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's been nice. I'll say the one good thing about waking up at 4, though, is that when your missus wakes up, you can actually say to her for once, "What time do you call this?"
What, Brownie, have you, do you like it, the old pink ball?
The pink ball, it's look, I think it's a good novelty for, like, once a year, twice a year.
I'll tell you what, though, actually, before you go on, it means that you can have a big old night out the whole way through, doesn't it?
You finish late, though. You finish too late, don't you? But you get a lay-in the morning. It's always good. The pink ball. They always talk about how much it swings, but I'm not.
Fucking didn't this evening, mate.
I'm not having it. It doesn't swing. And I don't know why they've gone 3. Like, it doesn't. I don't know why they've gone 3 seamers. But
do you know what's funny? They've gone 3 seamers, right? I looked at the weather forecast. It's 37 degrees. Right. The dew that is settling on that is at midnight tonight, and it's for about 20 minutes, and then it's gone. It's going to be a dust bowl.
Well, you don't want the dew there, though.
No,
For
no,
me, like the ball's going to come on nicely.
no, but they're
And you
saying it's a green top, which it was like.
fucking weren't this morning, mate.
No, but it was 2 weeks ago when they probably made this selection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't have faith. It's in the bottom line. They don't have faith in Don Best, do they?
No,
Bottom
exactly.
line.
I feel sorry for him because if you're not going to get a bowl in India, then
Yeah, listen, I think he's average. I think he's averaging 22 a wicket. Yeah, I know he hasn't been consistent. Yeah, I know he hasn't been consistent, but you know, I don't know what the stats are. But I think it's 22 wicket, 14 wickets or something. But they don't have faith in him, do they? Which is why they asked Moeen Ali to stay.
Leach looks good. I think he's getting better than Nutt.
He's looking really good.
Yeah,
Leach.
And
Brownie, sorry, I'll just stand on the pink ball. Have you played with it at club cricket level in T20s?
I have. Yeah. I played with it.
How similar is it to the one in the pro game?
They're different balls. They're I think it's Dukes, isn't it? The pink ball in club cricket. So them ones have got a bit of a bigger seam.
And they're a bit like plastic.
They're a bit more plasticky, yeah. So the pro balls are a bit more leather, like not as much lacquer.
Yeah.
But it still goes quite soft, and it's like still when you hit it, it's not like a cricket ball sound. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It whistles, doesn't it? It pings, whistles.
They fly off the bat, but it just doesn't feel the same.
It feels like you've when you toe one of those pink balls in the first couple of overs. Fuck you know, it's like thinning a 2-iron at the range.
I mean, as a keeper, I know Rishabh Pant had an absolute stinker today with the gloves. I don't know how much you boys watched it.
I didn't see it.
I reckon he shelled. He didn't catch. There was no. I can't remember him dropping any nicks, but actually fumbled balls to him 20 plus, maybe more. It was bad, mate. It was bad.
All weren't carrying though, was it?
Some were, some weren't. Really, to be fair, it was wobbling early doors.
Just a cheap day 5 India pitch.
Yeah. But
well,
the other thing with the pink one, we always said that it bounced just like a little bit more. It bounces like it's not a lot. It's like 4 or 5 inches more, I reckon. But you can sort of feel it a bit and spin. I think it bounces a bit.
That's
more,
right. You end up hitting the maker's name a bit, don't you? It feels like yeah.
Brownie, did you play? They did a round of matches, didn't they, in the county championship with the pink ball?
Yeah.
Was that day night?
Day night. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you bat under lights with it?
I got a few runs.
Go on,
is that what you're going to? Is it?
Get the cape on.
It's a high. The things don't swing. It's like you're batting on a highway with them.
Don't say that, Brownie. You got some runs, did you?
No, obviously a good partnership of record partnership, 370 odd.
I think I was there, but I think I came.
I think you might
be. One evening, I think. That's what I remember. Yeah, I think I did. I think I went to it. Dan was obviously playing. Don't know if you were there, Ralph. Don't know if I gave you a ring. I might have left you out. Sorry, mate.
No ticket to the door for that one. 12 quid.
I paid, mate. I paid. One of my own.
So are we for the pink ball or not? A little vote.
I think it's a good novelty. Yeah.
Latest, like Brownie said, it's quite nice. Not much going on at the minute. So to get up at 9, have cricket on till 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, happy days.
Yeah, it don't really work in England, does it? Because it gets dark at 10 o'clock in midsummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start a little bit later though, can't you?
I'm happy with a 9 a.m. start though. Boys, let's move on. Well, I know we've touched on it briefly, but the 100. I could see you boys must have got excited. You've been straight down Costco's life-size pack of skips, few monsters.
KP nuts, knickknacks.
Brownie on the butter kiss. Who's looking good then, boys? Have we had a look at the teams?
Well, just firstly, Brownie, were you in the mix at all? Because they've obviously done a redraft.
No, I didn't go into either draft.
Why not, Brownie?
It's just,
likelihood of me playing any T20s is quite slim. So
Now, well, I was going to say this. So obviously they were going to do it. They were going to do the T20 parallel, or the club T20 competition. The T20 Blast was going to go parallel with 100. Now, last year it was originally. So that would have meant you would have played a lot more, I take it, because a lot of the Essex boys would have been signed up.
So they're running it parallel with the 50 over comp, one day trophy. Right. So obviously all the boys with 100 will miss out on the one dayers. But I think the T20 is just before the 100.
Okay.
So there'll be a lot of shorter form cricket for a few weeks out.
So do you reckon me and Alf might get a gig for Essex in the 50 over stuff?
Whoa. Well, no one's been picked up, so you might be struggling. But if you go,
really? No. Did Harmer go this year?
He hasn't been picked up, I don't think.
He got picked up last year, though, didn't he?
He did get picked up last year. Yeah.
I think Tender Scarter got picked up. I think did he get picked up last year?
He got picked up last year. I don't think he's been picked up this year.
Yeah, it's funny that because I think availability would have been worse. I don't think the overseas situation is going to be.
No, the
overseas
situation's better this year. I think there's less cricket going on.
Is it?
We've all been able to get over it. I'm looking at a few of the names now, like Sunil Narayan, Pooran, Rabada, Maxwell.
Hetmeyer coming over.
Yeah, Hetmeyer's in there. Raheem.
I think Warner's over and Russell. I think the teams look better. Like the overseas look better this year, I think.
Yeah, Chris Lynn, Majib. Yeah, there's some proper players in there. I forgot what I was going to say there. What's our best sponsor? Come on, Brownie.
Skips, I think. Skips quite good.
I love a skip, ain't you?
Love a skip.
I'm not a skip fan.
No.
I don't skip the skips, mate. I look like the fella who picks up the skips, mate. I don't know, like Alf, what would you, if you had a choice, if you're going to be sponsored by a crisp, mate, what would it be?
To be fair, do you know what? I'm partial at the moment to. I don't know if you've had these, but it's the Tyrrells. Are they Tyrrells?
Oh, it's fancy.
Yeah, I know that. Well, I live closer to London, don't I, Brownie?
Someone's earning the cash.
Yeah.
I'll wait until they're on offer. The Tyrrells, like beetroot, the veggie one. Oh. They do a balsamic version. You can take the
beetroot crisps.
Yeah, you know what a vegetable is, Bill?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, fucking potatoes are vegetables, aren't they? Fucking come round your house to watch a cricket. You want to pack a crisp? Yeah, that's salt and vinegar. No, I've only got fucking beetroot shards, mate.
Question, Bill. I'll give you the answer. I don't mind a hula as well. Don't mind a hula.
Listen. Now, if we're talking about crisps, right? I did a little bit of shopping in my local Tesco's. Yeah, picked up a bag of the old KFC flavoured fucking Max Ridge. I don't even know what they're called. They're called Max something. They're KFC flavour, mate. They're fucking unreal. Eat your beetroot, mate. I'll bring my own. Brannigan's, mate. Beef and mustard.
What about you, Brownie? You on the
Monster Munch, me.
Yes, Brownie. Yes, that's it. Get your beetroot out. Get your fucking parsnips, mate.
Monster Munch.
Brownie's on the Monster Munch.
Are you the Flaming Hot original, Brownie?
Flaming Hot.
Yeah.
No fucking
or the Walker's mix-ups. Have you had them? Bit of everything.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
They're good.
Where'd you get those from?
Not in the farm shop, Alf, where you go. Not the farm shop, mate.
What else was I going to... that's what I was going to say. What's the response on it from the county pros on the cashing in on the 100? Is there... Are you boys... that was it. And that was another question, actually. Do you know anyone who's gone into the drafts and you've gone, fucking hell, you ain't going to get a gig, and you've all had a little bitch behind their back? Or obviously you can't say.
Look, I think it's everyone's opinions, isn't it? Like some people go, oh, has he got a gig? Like I think everyone spoke about Abel, didn't they? Last year he went for 100 grand or something.
120
grand.
So there's always
Dane Villas.
opinions. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do we think that the 100 will be played at club level if this goes well? I have no opinion because I don't really know how it's going to go. Does it really shave off that much time? It's half hour, isn't it? So it's going to take half hour off the day.
It could do, maybe. It could do with like kids maybe a bit easier.
Sound positive about that, apparently.
I honestly, I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
It'll be like the T20 though, won't it? Because that took 10 years to sort of get going, didn't it?
Mate, if Browne was in one of those sides, he'd have the Monster Munch on his fucking shirt. He'd be saying it's the best thing since sliced bread, and every club should be signed up to it. So no, it's not going to take off, is it? You'll be gone anyway.
Well, we'll see, mate. We'll see. You've got to get behind it, ain't you? Because, like I said, I've had enough of these shit 2020 leagues, mate, around the world. So let's see. I think we got behind it in the early days of the podcast, Alf, didn't we?
We had to, didn't we? Everyone else was poo-pooing it, so we had to get behind it.
Yeah, I think it'll be a success. Like, if you've got crowds in, obviously they're huge. And I think the players look good. Like, the teams look pretty strong, don't they? Like,
isn't it? The teams are good.
Like, that's all you need. Good players.
Well, it sounds like as well. Different. It sounds like it's not going to undermine the Vitality Blast as well.
No, I don't
sounds like that's going to, because I mean, that going into serious sort of chat, that's going to be quite big for Essex to draw the crowds in when they're allowed back in, which I think they will be. Essex sort of live off that, don't they? Live off getting the 15,000 in or whatever they get, 10,000. Is that many? 10,000 in?
3.
Not quite. But it's like, it's quite tribal, isn't it? Like, with clubs. So, like, Essex fans want to watch Essex.
Yeah.
And that's why we love them. Like, you've been over there loads. Like, Essex fans love Essex.
Yeah, it's quite hard to get behind a new team, isn't it?
You'll find a lot of people struggling to support London. But, like, you never know. Like, hopefully it doesn't take away too many of our fans. And hopefully, well, you never know. More people might come to cricket and go, actually, it's not as shit as what we thought. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, look, it's all going to be sort of alcohol orientated, isn't it? It's going to be. I know they want the kids involved and all that, but let's have it right. If we're going there, we're getting bang on it, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly right. Like the T20 is brilliant, isn't it? At Essex, like, everyone has a right laugh on the booze. You get kids. Like, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Hopefully, you get that.
Yeah, I think we will get that. I'm looking forward to a few boozy ones. And which brings us on, Brownie, to the 21st of June, which Essex happen to be playing Surrey. And that's the first, potential day of normality. We're all going to be there, aren't we? We are all going to be there. I'm going to be in my whites. Going to have 2 pints on the go, double parked.
You're looking for hospitality.
That out for us. Yeah, you sorted that out for us, Brownie.
Yeah, Brownie's sorting out the Graham Gooch suite.
I'll get onto that.
The Peter Such suite.
Be right onto that.
Neil Foster.
Brownie,
send me some Monster Munch through the post, and you might get some.
You'll be getting the multi-pack. Don't you worry about that, Brownie. Are we all looking forward to the 21st of June then, boys, quietly? They seem a long way away.
Massively. Oh, definitely. I mean, going and watch a cricket game, thinking about it last night, going and watch... Alf, we've got tickets to England, India at Trent Bridge this year. So, I mean, the thought of going with all your mates, having a few beers, chirping some of the Indians, giving Ashwin a bit of shit, getting boozy of your mates, that's heaven.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah, Brownie, you must be looking forward to having a few of the old scorers back, the old fans, the old faithful back on the sideline.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant at Chelmsford, wouldn't it, to get everyone back? And I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm obviously looking forward to that, but looking forward to going down South Woodford and do a couple of laps with a pint in your hand. And do you know what I mean? Like,
that's
see people again.
Play a bit of boundary bowls and have a
bit
good
of boundary bowls.
Bit of a yarn. Boys, we're going to move on to the questions. Got a couple today. Brownie, you know the deal here. A couple from Twitter. The first question from Pratik is very blunt, very short. How do you know it's time to pack it in? Bill, you've packed it in. I don't know whether, but you're not. You're a bit of you're a different one. You ain't packed it in because of the ability, I guess, or because you're an old bastard.
Well, I've been an old bastard since I was about 13, mate. it's just got to levels of grumpiness with me. Like, yeah, I mean, I had sort of work issues, but
Your
yeah,
patient
for me,
was
yeah, definitely. As I was getting older, like, and it was like babysitting. Like a few of the youngsters would come in and that. I just found myself thinking, what am I doing with these kids? Like, you know, some of the things they were talking about and stuff, I was just getting more and more grumpy with them. And I was like, nah, I've had enough of this. Can't handle it no more. So for me, it was grumpy levels, mate.
So you didn't think about nurturing them through and make them good people?
Nah.
So if one of these young kids that you obviously despise quietly because they were clearly having more fun, they probably
and they were better than me.
They're better than you, better better chat, probably was shagging a better bird, and yeah.
Steady on.
No, you weren't with Kate at the time, and yeah, and that was it. If one of them came up to you and said, "Bill, look, I need a bit of advice here. That I haven't been going too well. I really think I could work on my sweep, and you're a really good man to ask." What would you?
No, they well, I think you'd remember. I had like a barrier around me. They knew not to approach me. Yeah, they knew they couldn't encroach a certain area around me. Yeah, and I did actually, like any new youngster that come into the side, they had to get me drinks. They had to sort of pack my bag for me. And when like these youngsters kept coming in, they wouldn't do that for me. They wouldn't listen. Then again, that was another reason for me to pack it in. To be honest.
So for Pratik, who probably, I'm just guessing, probably don't do that. Are you saying that's when you're trying to pack it in?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, now you usually pack it in about 5 times a season, mate. So why don't you try and tell us one of those 5 reasons?
So when everyone's lost respect in you, pretty much.
Yeah, when you've lost respect in yourself and everyone else is, and you can't look anyone in the dressing room in the eye because you've told them all that they're a bunch of fucking arseholes.
Well, and also this is a good one as well.
Mirror, then that's when you know it's time to pack it in.
When some little bastard as well moves your kit.
Oh no!
I put it in my corner. Yeah. Like obviously, Browne. I don't know what it's like in the Essex change room, but the hierarchy get the corners. Yeah, the experienced pros get the corners. When some little bastard comes in and takes the corner, moves your bag and puts it on the floor. Yeah, again, you've lost the dressing room. You've done a Jose Mourinho, mate. You've lost the dressing room. Go on.
Well, what about Brownie? You must have seen a few like players come and go. You've seen like Masters, probably Graham Napier, like a few guys like that. What was the sort of turning point for them?
Well, going back to the changing room bag stuff, whenever I go back to South Whitford, I walk in and go, "Oh, someone's in my corner." like it's going to be free for them when I'm not there.
2 games in 10 years.
Move the kit, I'm there. Yeah. How do they know they've packed it in?
It's time to pack it in.
Yeah. I've seen a few, like Dave Masters retiring was pretty emotional for him. He was getting on a bit, and Jesus, he used to bowl 30 overs a day, the fella. He was unbelievable.
If he had
Hunt was getting louder and louder as well.
If he had Harman in the side, he'd still be playing, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah.
6 over the game.
He would, but like his body let him down, so he had to pack it in the end, and probably the same with Napes. But I suppose it's just up to the person, isn't it? Like what you say, Bill.
I'm sure fucking David Masters and Graham Napier had a no-go zone around them for any youngsters to approach.
Losing the respect of her teammates.
A young Jamie Porter going up to David Masters, mate. What do you think of the way he ripped the ball? Fuck off.
No, nowhere around here. Go and get me a 99 from the ice cream van.
Ginger chav. What about when, like, let's take a different approach here. When you have to underarm it in from the fence, or you have to bowl it in from the fence. You know, as a bowler, you're down at fine leg and you're down there because you're shit and you can't move. And like, you're probably not going to save 2. You've just got to try and save 4. And you bowl.
You do a Hashim Amla.
Does he bowl it in?
No. He throws it from his toe. He throws it like a little Underarm like that.
You've got a good wrist though, so if you can wazz it with a good wrist, underarm. I think there's a fine line. If you're bowling it in and you do the old, you hold on for it for too long and it digs in and just don't even make it to the keeper. I think that's when it's time to pack it in.
To be fair, if you're a senior pro though, you ain't on the boundary. Yeah.
Well, that's what.
And also, you ain't chasing after anything.
Bill, were you one of those? Like, do you reckon that if you made it past 30 and you weren't such a grumpy bastard, that you just point to the ball, you wouldn't even look at it? Just
I did do that. I think when I stopped keeping, I was at first slip. I think I beckoned the youngster from mid off to go and get the ball down the third man. Just pointing to him, go and get it. It might have been you, Alf, actually.
I don't mind the underarm from the boundary. It's the it's going to hurt more bending down rather put my foot there.
Sticking the hoof on.
Yeah.
When you got a brand new pellet as well, 6 years old, and someone sticks their hoof on it.
Take the bruise on the ankle rather than bending down.
So there we go, Pratik. I reckon that I think Billy sort of summarised it the best.
Listen, Pratik, right? If you're thinking about it, it's time to go.
There you go. The next question is actually from a member of ours at Chingford. And I think this is pretty loaded towards one of our guests here, one of our podcasters. Right. What are our thoughts on ex-players, captains and committee members giving their expert analysis on each dismissal that takes place on a Saturday afternoon? Have yourselves or any of your teammates ever bit back, especially mid-game?
Browne, is that aimed at you or is it me?
I think it's aimed at you, mate. It's a great question.
I don't know. Like, I've got pretty strong views on this, like most things, yeah. Right?
Don't hold back.
Every club's got them, though, Bill. Every club.
Fucking right. It's to say, to be fair, it goes a long way on sort of in the professional game as well, like pundits on the football, Sky Football, and in cricket. But Alf was batting actually, and we were playing a game. I can't remember, it was against Alf was. That's it. You were batting pretty well. You may well have got a big 100 actually.
Cheers, Bill.
And one of the spinner was bowling. I think you lap sweeped him for 4, and the old fella, like one of the past president, obviously a highly respected member of the committee. Started piping up saying, why are you not playing straight? What is that shot? And I just let rip. I just said, what the fuck are you talking about? He's hitting for 4. It's not the 1970s no more. And it just escalated into a big row. And I was due in next as well. And so I'm rowing away at this geezer, right? And he's proper alpha me because I went in. I think I only had like 5-6 overs to bat. And I got a quick 5, 30, 40 odd, not out or something. Yeah, it's some big sixes. And he actually looked at me when I come off, and he actually took the credit for me scoring like that 40 odd, not out. They riled me up, you know. But I mean, short answer is that their sport in general, cricket in general, has changed a hell of a lot in the last 10 years. Don't worry about the last 30 years. I mean, this is why I don't agree with and don't like Michael Holding, because I'm sorry, he may well have been a good bowler back in the 60s and 70s and 80s or whenever he bowled, but the game ain't the same no more. So he can't have that strong an opinion on it, to be honest, because the way that he's talking about it is when he played in his day, and you just can't compare eras anymore. It just simply don't work.
Brownie, have you had the little nibble at any stage? Like, there must be times when you're walking off and, like, you know how passionate people get. It doesn't matter if it's for South Woodford or for Essex, or even out in Australia. Like, you just don't want to hear it, do you? And it's really, really hard to block it out.
Oh, like Australia's the worst because they love it so much. I used to live with a guy who was a bowler and knew everything about cricket, everything, but loved cricket as well. Like, it'd be Wednesday night and he'd go, "Oh, what was that shot, Brownie, on Saturday?" And you think, "Come on, mate, It's Wednesday.
Tequila.
Happened Saturday.
Tequila.
Right. And they talk about it to you all week. Yeah, tequila.
Sorry, Brownie, delay on the feed.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you say, at every club there's old boys that will tell you what you've done wrong, what you should have done. But I suppose you got to give them their time.
It's stubbornness. It is stubbornness. Like, I'm sorry, the game is not the same anymore. Like, playing straight and fucking coaching manual don't exist anymore. Like, going back to Michael Holding, if he bowled a Yorker back in the day, that ain't going for 6. Yeah, you bowl a Yorker these days, it'll go out the ground. Like, it's just totally different. Like, tactics and skills that are involved in today's game. Like, players now, Browne, again, you share in a professional dressing room. Some of these players are massive, mate. Like, physiques, by the way. Yeah. Like, some of these players,
I was wondering where you're going.
They're not built the same anymore. They can hit the ball off the toe. And again, bats are just totally different now. You can't bowl bat, the fielding as well. When did you, in the 70s, 80s, or even 90s, did you ever see what like Adam Lyve's done like 2-3 times when he's flown over the boundary road and like caught the ball, flung it back in? You ain't seeing that no more.
Well, you know,
ridiculous.
You know why they never did it back at even at club cricket level? Our boundaries are generally all the way up against the fence, and it was only like probably 15 years ago where they realised, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll bring the rope in, and then people can actually do this stuff. So before then, you would have to jump into the stand at the MCG to try and palm one back out of the geezer's lap.
Take a few beers out.
Yeah, and you ain't doing that at Chelmsford. So that's where it's changed a little bit. But yeah, everyone wants to have their 2 cents, don't they? But it can, you can get some good blow-ups out of it. You can get some good arguments, especially at club level.
Alf, you must have blown up at someone.
Never, Brownie.
I've seen you blow up at someone.
I've blown up at umpires. I've blown up at. I think my dad's given me some stick from under the willow trees. He's 120 meters away, and I'm like telling him.
Your dad's just laughed, mate. He hasn't given you stick. He just laughed. Laughed and got his car, drove off.
No, but,
Donovan.
That is the one that I remember the most. Is that it was a reverse sweep actually, Bill, but the one that you're talking about, but none of them really spring to mind. I just think that it's such an angry time in your life when you get out. It's that 4-minute window where you just think, just don't want to say anything. I just want to miss myself.
Alf, don't get me wrong here, right?
Go on.
Like, I had a legitimate argument when you were on about fucking 110 and bit the geezer before, yeah? But when you face the first ball and you've tried to fucking lap sweep or lap paddle a guy when they've got a 45, a fine leg, and a fucking leg slip in, yeah, and got bowled, then fucking, by all means, lads, pile into him, yeah, because you deserve it.
Nah, yeah, you're right. There's probably is a time and a place, and if you're going to play shots like that, first ball of the game in a 64 over game, then you got to accept you're going to cop it. But generally, try not to say anything. If you do, expect to cop it back, bat through the window, something like that.
Exactly. There is a cooling off period required when someone gets out.
Yeah, till Wednesday.
Some more than others. Actually, Brownie, what are you like when you get out? Can you just? I'd imagine you'd be all right.
In my younger days, I was quite angry when I used to get out, but no, I'm all right now. Like 10 minutes, I'm all right.
Well,
It depends how you get out, doesn't it? If you get a good ball, you get a good ball, whatever. But
it ain't called up.
if you toss it off, then you're fucked off, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, what are you? Towel over the head, Brownie? Like, do you throw any of the pads?
Yeah, throw pads.
Yeah.
Throw pads and sit in my kit for a little while.
Do you pack your kit away?
Nah.
Not a bit of therapy.
Nah. Leave it everywhere.
Okay, mate.
No.
What do you do, Bill, then? You pack it away?
I pack it away, get in the shower, go home. Don't stay to the end of the game. Right.
First innings.
Yeah.
You've just made, you were just such a good bloke. I really missed playing with you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right, boy. On that note, it's been a lot of fun. Brownie, thanks for joining us, and you'll be with us next week, which is with a little treat for the listeners as well.
We might rest you, Brownie.
No problem.
scheduled in to be rested, mate.
I expect. I want to see some new props next week. Brownie, you must be able to get your hands on some sort of trophy from the county ground. Wouldn't mind.
I'll see what I can do.
Lovely. Right, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Cheers, boys.
Have a good week.
Right, can we keep the ratings going on iTunes, please?
Yeah.
Reviews.
I'll sign up again, shall I, Bill? Under an
Yeah, I've done 15 reviews now. Can you boys pile in, please?
I'll do one under Phil. Right, boys. Been a pleasure.
Nice one. See you later.